Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Very good morning. We were discussing about the spherical mirrors and the types of spherical mirrors and the important terms dealing with the spherical mirrors in the last class, and what are the uses of concave mirror and convex mirror, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you remember all these points?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, Fizan,
Yes, ma'am.
what do you mean by spherical mirror?
Some spherical mirror is the mirrors. The mirror it will be outward and inward.
It's reflecting surface. It's reflecting surfaces.
Surface.
Yes, it's right.
Outward and inward.
Yes, it's reflecting surfaces either curved inwards or curved outwards. Very good, Fisan. Lena?
Like a spoon.
Ah, yes, just like a tablespoon. All right, very good. Lena,
Yes, ma'am.
what are the two types of spherical mirrors?
Concave and convex mirrors.
Then can you define what you mean by a concave mirror?
Reflecting surface curved inwards.
Yes, it's a spherical mirror whose reflecting surface is curved inwards. Very good. Noble,
Yes, ma'am.
what do you mean by a convex mirror then? Convex mirror. Yes, try to say. Just try to remember what you mean by a convex mirror. I will give you a clue. Concave mirror is a mirror whose reflecting surface is curved inwards. It is curved inwards. Then what do you mean by convex mirror?
It is not curved mirror.
It is a spherical mirror whose reflecting surface is?
Ma'am, I know. Plain.
Yes.
Ma'am, I know.
Okay, Fizan, I will give you a chance. Okay. Then Fizan, what about the convex mirror?
Outward. The
Yes.
reflecting surface is outward.
The reflecting surface is outwards. Very good. Nihal, can you say any two uses of concave mirror? Any two uses of concave mirror? Yes, Nihal. I think some connectivity issues are there. I can hear. Navaneet, any two uses of concave mirror?
Ma'am, shaving mirror,
Shaving mirror. One more use.
dental mirror.
Ah, yeah. Dental mirror. All right. Makeup mirror. Yeah, right. Rohan, any uses of convex mirror? Convex mirror.
Ma'am,
Yes.
they are the rear view mirrors in the vehicle.
Yes, very good. They are used as the rear view mirrors of the vehicles.
These are
Then
safety mirrors.
they are used as safety mirrors. I think it's said by Eva, right?
In convex dental mirror.
Yes, very good. So the convex mirrors are used as the rear view mirrors in vehicles and they are used as the safety mirrors. All right, very good. Rachel, what are the important terms that we were discussed about the spherical mirrors? Some important terms that we were discussed in dealing with the spherical mirrors. What are they?
Ma'am, pole,
Hall. All right.
radius of curve, center of curvature,
Yes, very good. Center of curvature.
radius of curvature,
Radius of curvature.
principal axis and
Principal axis. Yes. Principal axis, principal focus, and one more term is there. Center of curvature that we are already said, Fizan. One more term is there. What is that? I think,
focal length.
yes,
Focal
very good.
length.
Focal length. Very good. Delvin, all of you please switch on your videos. All of you please switch on. Delvin, what do you mean by the pole of the mirror? Pole.
Yes, ma'am.
Pole of the mirror.
Line.
I think Abil is ready to say the answer, right?
All of the mirror.
What do you
I
mean
know.
by pole then?
Ma'am, that middle line of that mirror, that middle line one.
Ma'am,
It is not the
Center.
middle line of the mirror. It is not the
Center.
middle line. Yes.
Center.
Yes, Abil.
Ma'am, center.
Yes, Rohan. It is the
Center of
Center
It
of
is the center of the reflecting surface. It is not the center of the spherical mirror. It is the center of the reflecting surface of the spherical mirror. All right. Then, Elana,
Yes, ma'am.
what do you mean by center of curvature?
The center of sphere, the spherical mirror is a part represented by the term C.
Yes. Center of curvature is the center of the sphere in which the spherical mirror is a part, and it is represented by the letter C. All right. Rachel? Rachel, are you there? Okay. Maria, what do you mean by radius of curvature then? Radius of curvature.
The radius as a spherical
Yes.
sphere of which reflecting surface.
Yes, it is the radius of the sphere in which the spherical mirror is a part. And using which letter we are representing this radius of curvature?
R.
R. Very good. Meghna. What do you mean by principal axis? Meghna?
Line passing through the center of curvature and the point and the pole.
Yes, it is the line that is passing through center of curvature and pole. Very good. Then next one, Nihal. What do you mean by focal length? Focal length.
Ma'am, focal length that or the point will meet at that.
No, Vizan, that is principal focus. I am asking about focal length. Nabil, what is focal length? Nabil? Focal
Yes,
length.
ma'am.
Yes, what do you mean by focal length?
And that when the mirror is reflecting, that rays are known as focal length.
No, that is principal focus. What is focal length? Aaron, what do you mean by focal length? Nazreen, focal length. Can you recall what do you mean by focal length? All of you, please switch on your video. Yes. Yes, Navaneet, it is the distance between principal focus and pole. Okay, it is the distance between the principal focus and pole. That is what is known as focal length. And how we are representing the focal length? The focal length is represented by the letter small f. Okay, very good. Then what do you mean by principal focus of a concave mirror? Principal focus of a concave mirror. Shifana, principal focus of a concave mirror.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, it will meet at a point that.
Okay,
cut-
Fizan. I will give you a chance. Before that, Shifana, I will ask you the principal focus of a convex mirror then. Shifana, what do you mean by principal focus of a concave mirror? Shifana.
Rays of light is parallel to the principal axis after the reflection meet at a point.
It is meet at a point, and that particular point is known as
Principal focus.
principal focus. All right. Then Fizan, now I will give a chance.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
is the principal focus of a convex mirror then?
It will meet parallelly. It will meet at the point.
No, in the case of convex mirror, it is not meet at a particular point.
Yes, ma'am.
What happens in the case of convex mirror? The ray of light parallel to principal axis. After the reflection, what happens?
The diverging mirror will.
Yes, very good. It is
Both
diverging. It is diverging away from a particular point. That is known as the principal focus of a convex mirror. Okay. Now, what are the relation between, what is the relation between the radius of curvature and that of the focal length? Raya, what is the relation between the radius of curvature and that of the focal length? That is the relation between R and F. Unmute and answer. Alicia, what is the relation between radius of curvature and focal length? Alicia,
Ma'am, equation only.
yes.
Ma'am, is that equation?
The relation, yes, that equation. The
R equal
relation
to
between.
2F.
R is
Yes.
R
equal
equal
to
to
2F.
2F.
Yes, very good. R is equal to 2F, where R is the radius of curvature and F is the focal length. One more equation is there. F is equal to?
F is equal to R by
R by
Yes,
2.
very good. F is equal to R by 2. R equal to 2F or F is equal to R by 2. This is the relation between the radius of curvature and focal length. I hope all these topics are clear for you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, can we move to the next topic?
Yes, ma'am.
So the next topic is about the image formation by spherical mirrors. The image formation by spherical mirrors. So we are already discussed about the characteristics of the image formed by plane mirror, right? Did you remember the characteristics of the image formed by plane mirror?
Okay.
Can you recapitalize it? What are the image formed by the plane mirror? Characteristics of image formed by plane mirror.
When we stand in the mirror, it will show us
It is curve.
our
In the
image
case of plane mirror,
Flat surface.
plane mirror is a flat surface. What is the characteristics of the image formed by plane mirror?
Ma'am, it is a
Yes, yes, very good. It is virtual and direct. It is virtual and direct. And where do we get the image in the case of a plane mirror?
Behind them.
Behind the mirror. And what about the size of the image formed? Same size. Very good. So we were already studied about the characteristics of the image formed by plane mirror. Now we want to study what about the nature, what about the size and the characteristics of the image formed by the spherical mirror. So we can study the characteristics of the image formed by plane mirror using ray diagrams. So today we are going to study the image formation by the spherical mirror. The image formation by the spherical mirrors. Okay. We can start. Image formation by spherical mirrors. What are the two types of spherical mirrors?
convex and concave.
Yes, very good. Concave and convex. We have two types of spherical mirrors, concave and convex mirror. So we want to study the image formation by spherical mirror. So first of all, we are going to study the image formation by concave mirror. The image formation by concave mirror. Okay. Let us start. So we are going to study about the image formation by concave mirror. So for that, first of all, I consider a concave mirror. Okay. We can represent the points of this concave mirror. What is this point represents?
Poles.
Pole. Very good. This point? Center of curvature. Between center of curvature, we have another point. What is that?
Radius of curvature.
No. Between C and P, we have one more point. What is that?
Principal axis.
Is it a principal axis is a point?
No. So like
It is a principal focus. Did you remember this point? Principal focus. Okay, then Roshan, the line that is passing through the center of curvature and the pole is known as?
Radius of
No, it is the principal axis. The line that is passing through center of curvature and that of the pole is known as the principal axis. Okay. So we have here we are consider a concave mirror and we representing pole, principal focus and the center of curvature, and the line passing through the center of curvature and the pole is known as the principal axis. Now, behind the center of curvature, I used to represent using some dotted lines. Can you see the dotted lines here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. This dotted line is nothing. It is represent the infinity. It is representing infinity. Okay. So behind C, I am used to represent it with some dotted lines. It is representing the infinity. So we are going to study the image formation by concave mirror. So in order to study the image formation, we want the object. And in the case of a concave mirror, here we are considering the concave mirror. In the case of a concave mirror, we have 6 different positions at which we can place the object. In the case of concave mirror, we have 6 different positions at which we can place the object. The first position is at infinity. So where do we place the object? First case?
Infinity.
Yes, very good. In the first case, we are placing the object at infinity. We are placing the object here. We can represent the object at AB. Okay. The second case, I can place the object beyond C, that is behind C. What is the second place I place the object? Where do I place the object in second case? Behind C. The behind C is otherwise known as beyond C. That is at the back side of the C. Then can you guess what about the third case where I can place the object? No? Before that we have one more point. I can place here.
Where C.
At C. At C. I can place the object at C. Then what about the next position?
FS.
Find F.
Ma'am, at
Yes, before at F, one more point is left. Here there is so much places are there. So we can place, yes, very good. We can place the object between F and C, right? We
Yes,
can
ma'am.
place the object between F and C. Then what about our next place?
Ma'am, between F and P.
Before that, we have one more point is there. What is
Ma'am,
that?
On F.
At F, very good. At F. So we can place the object at F.
Why we are
Yes.
drawing in the point, why we are drawing that lines?
Which one? I am just showing that you don't need to copy this diagram. I am only showing that what are the different positions at which we can place the object. Okay. You don't need to copy this diagram. Okay. I'm
Right.
just showing. Okay, no problem. Then one more point is there. One more point at which we can place the object. Where it is?
Between F and B.
Between F and P. Very good. Very good, Roshan. Between F and P, we can place the object. Okay. So these are the 6 different positions I can place the object in the case of a concave mirror. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
What are the 6 different positions at which we can place the object? Nihal? Vishnu Shaji, are you there? Please switch on your video. What are the
this
6 different?
diagram we need to write.
No, you don't need to copy this diagram.
Okay.
This is, I am drawing only to get an idea about what are the 6
Okay.
different positions at which we can place the object. Okay, Vishnu, are you there? Okay, Noble, what are the 6 different positions at which we can place the object?
Ma'am, at infinity,
Yes, at infinity,
behind C,
behind C,
at C,
at C. Very good.
and F, behind F,
Not behind F. That point we can call it as between C and F. Between C and F. Yes. Between C and F. What is the next point? At F. Very good.
Between F and P.
Between F and P. All right. Anaj, can you recall all these points once again? What are the 6 different positions at which we can place the object?
Infinity.
Infinity. Very good.
Behind C.
Behind C.
At C.
At C.
Between C and F.
Between C and F.
At F.
At F.
Between F and P.
Yes, between F and P. So I hope these 6 different positions are clear to you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now we can see a table, and this table is helpful you to understand where do we get the image. Okay. Okay, 1 minute. We can see the PPT. Now we can see the a table. Did you see this table?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So this table we have, this is the table image representation. In order to draw the ray diagrams, we need a table. We have an idea, we need an idea about when we place the object at 6 different positions, where do we get the image? So this is the table for concave mirror. This is a table for concave mirror. Okay. In this table, you can see 4 different columns. The first column is shows the position of the object. That is, what are the 6 different? Yes.
Nandi is finished right down.
No, this table is already given in your NCERT textbook. So you don't need to be copied on this. Okay. You can just listen here. First of all, you will listen. We can discuss each and every point. Okay. So this is the position of the object. The first column is shows about the position of the object. Okay. We are already discussed the 6 different positions. What are the 6 different positions are there?
At infinity, behind
At
C.
infinity, beyond C, at C, between C and F, at F, and between P and F. Did you remember these 6 different positions at which we are placing the object?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am.
Now we can study the position of the image. That is about the second column. Now we can concentrate only to the second column. Okay. The first column we are already studied. What are the 6 different positions at which we can place the object? Now we are going to study what about the position of the image when we are placing the object at these 6 different positions. Okay. First of all, we can consider the first case. At first case, where did we place the object? At first case, where did we place the object?
Infinity.
Yes, very good. We are placing the object at infinity. Now, when we are placing the object at infinity, where do you get the image? Where do you get the image?
At the focus of F.
Yes, very good. It is obtained at the focus, right? Now,
Yes, ma'am.
if the object is placed beyond C, where did you get the image?
Between F and
Yes, very good, Lena. We are obtained between F and C. Now, if the object is placed at C, the third case is very easy to study and it is liked by all the students. If the object is placed at C, where did you get the image?
At C.
At C itself. Very good. Now, if the object is placed between C and F, where did you get the image?
behind C.
Beyond C or behind C. Both are C. Beyond C. But you must be familiar with this term beyond. Okay. Beyond C means behind. Right. Now, if the object is placed at F, where did you get the image?
At infinity.
At infinity. Very good. If the object is placed between P and F, where did you get the image?
Behind.
Behind the mirror. So First of all, we are studying about what are the 6 different positions at which we can place the object. Now we are seeing what are the 6 different positions at which we are obtaining the image, right? Now,
Yes, ma'am.
I will give you a trick to study this table, these 2 columns. Okay, you listen here. In the first case, I am placing the object at infinity, right? I am placing the object at infinity. At that time, where did I get the image? Where does I get the image?
Focus.
Yes, when I am placing the object at infinity, I get the image at focus, right? Now, you just listen here. If the object is placed at focus, where did I get the image? At infinity. That is, these cases are just reverse, which means if the object is placed at infinity, I get the image at focus. Similarly, if I place the object at focus, I get the image at infinity.
Infinity.
Do you get an idea?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, second case, if the object is placed beyond C, where did we get the image?
F and C.
Yes, very good. We get the image between F and C. Similarly, if you place your object between F and C, where did you get the image? Beyond C. This case is also reverse. Is it easy to study?
Yes, ma'am.
That is, if the object is placed at infinity, you get the image at focus. If you place the object at focus, then you get the image at infinity. Similarly, if you place the object beyond C, you get the image between F and C. Similarly, if you place the object between F and C, you get the image at beyond C, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
The third case is also easy to study. If you place the object at C, where do you get the image?
C.
At C itself. If you are placing the object at C, you get the image at C itself. Okay. Now, the final case, this is the only one and only one case you need to study. That is, if the object is placed between P and F. If the object is placed between P and F, in that case, you get the image behind the mirror. It is not in front of the mirror. In that case only, we get the image behind the mirror, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I hope these 2 tables, these 2 columns are clear. These 2 columns,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we can move to the size of the image. We can discuss about the third column. So the first 2 columns are over. Now we can discuss about the third column. That is about the size of the image. The third column gives an idea about the size of the image. If the object is placed at infinity, if we are placing our object at infinity, we don't have any idea where did our object is placed. It is far away. In that case, what about the size of the image? What about the size of the image?
Medium is 10.6.
The size of the image is highly diminished. Diminished means it is very small in size. It is highly diminished and it is point size. We cannot see. It is actually a point sized image we get when we are placing the object at infinity. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we can discuss about the second case. That is, if the object is placed beyond C. If the object is placed beyond C, what about the size of the image? Again, the size of the image is diminished. Diminished means small.
Small.
It is not small as case of the first case. Anyway, it is small. It is not point size, but it is small, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we can discuss about the third case. At C. At C, if you are placing the object at C, where do you get the image?
Same size.
At C itself. And what about the size of the image? It is same size. It is neither large nor small. It is same size as that of the object. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, very good. Then we are placing the object between F and C or between C and F. If you are placing the object between C and F, where did we get the image?
Large.
Where did we get the image?
Beyond C.
Beyond C. In that case, what about the size of the image?
Enlarged.
Yes, the size of the image is enlarged. So after this third case, the size becomes large. The size becomes large. Okay. Now we can discuss about the fifth case. if the object is placed at a focus means we are placing the object at the focus of the mirror. In that case, what about the size of the image?
Highly enlarged.
It is highly enlarged because we are placing the object at the principal focus. We are placing at the focus. So it is zoom the object. So the size of the image is highly enlarged. Okay. Now we can discuss about the last case. That is if the object is placed between F and P. Where did you get the image? Where did you get the image? If the
Ma'am,
object is
behind the
behind the
mirror.
mirror. Yes, very good. Behind the mirror. In that case, what about the size of the image?
Large.
Size of the
Large.
image is enlarged. Okay, all right. So here, the size of the image, only the first two cases we get a smaller size. In the first case, it is point sized or highly diminished. Second case also a diminished or small size. What about the third case? We get a same size. Okay, here we get a same size. And what about the last three cases? In the last three cases, the size of the image is said to be enlarged. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we are discussing the first, second, and third column of the image formation of
Ma'am,
concave
this,
mirror. Yes.
This in just this
Yes, yes, it is in present year textbook.
page number.
Page number 164.
Oh.
Page number 164, you can see the same table, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Okay, now we can move to the last column. The last column. What is the title of this last column?
Nature of the image.
Yes, it is the nature of the image. This column is representing the nature of the image. So this is also very easy to study. For the first 5 cases, what about the nature of the image?
Real
Yes.
inverted.
For the first 5 cases, the image formed is real, but it is inverted. That is, the image is not upright. It is inverted in nature, inverted. Okay. So for the first case, the image formed is real and inverted. And only for the last case, that is in the case if we are placing the object between P and F, in that case, we are getting the image behind the mirror, which is just like that of in the case of a plane mirror. In that case, the size of the image is or nature of the image is virtual and direct. In that case, the nature of the image is given by virtual and direct. Clear?
Ma'am, nature of the image means?
Nature of the image means whether it is sitting or whether it is observed as upright. Upright means vertical or horizontal, or it is just inverted, or it is laterally inverted and all. That is what is meant by the nature of the image. Okay.
Okay.
In the last case, if we are placing the object between F and P, we get the image behind the mirror. In that case, what about the nature of the image form? What about the nature of the image in the last case?
Virtual and direct.
Yes, it is given as virtual and direct. Virtual and direct as same as that of in the case of a plane mirror. Virtual means we are get the image behind the mirror. We get the image behind the mirror. And what do you mean by erect? Erect means we get upright image. Upright image. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the table that you want to study. If you study this table, then it is easy for you to draw the ray diagrams. Okay. I think and I hope that this table is clear. Do you have any doubt dealing with this table?
And what is a real and inverter means?
Real and inverted means it is not upright. It is not upright images. We get a real image. Real image means the image that we are obtained on the screen. Okay. Real image. Real image means, this is what I mean by the meaning of real image. Real image, we get the image on the screen. But what is the nature? Instead of, if we are placing, you just look here. If you are placing the object like this, we are placing the object in an upright position, AB. Then we get the image like this, inverted. It is BA. The image formed is like this. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
That is, if you are placing an object in upright position, This is the object. This is the representation of object. Then you get the image like this. It is just inverted. The image looks like this. This is what you mean by inverted. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
Can
what do you
write-
mean? Yes.
Can write this rule.
Yeah. Now we can discuss this rule.
Okay.
So before discussing the rule, I want to recall once again about this table. I hope that this table is clear fully. Right?
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So Ilana, we can just recall it fast. If the object is placed at infinity, where did you get the image? Ilana,
Yes, ma'am.
if you place the object at infinity, where did you get the image?
At the
At the focus. Very good. Nasreen, if the object is placed at the focus, where did you get the image?
At infinity.
Very good. Then Anaj, if you place the object beyond the C, where did you get the image? If you place the object beyond the C, where did you get the image? Aaron, if you are placed the object beyond C, where did you get the image?
Between F and C.
Between F and C, very good. Isha, Isha Zara. Okay. If you place the object between F and C, where did you get the image?
Beyond C.
Beyond C. All right. Then next one, Delvin. If you are placing the object at C, where did you get the image?
At C itself.
At C itself. Very good. Then Roshan, if you place the object between P and F, where did you get the image? If the object is between F and P or P and F, where did you get the image?
Behind the mirror.
Yes, it is obtained behind the mirror. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Krishna. Krishna, what about the size of the image if you are placing the object at C?
What, ma'am?
If you are placing the object at C, what about the size of the image?
Ma'am, same size.
Yes, very good, same size. Then Shweta, if the object is placed between P and F, what about the nature and the size of the image? Nature and size.
Enlarged, virtual and erect.
Very good. It is enlarged and virtual and direct. Now we can study the rules. So before the next class, you must thorough with this table, and 4 rules are there. Now we can move to this rule. This is the first rule. Okay, this is the first rule. You can copy down this rule. The rules for obtaining the image formed by a concave mirror. The rules for obtaining the image formed by a concave mirror. Okay. What is the first rule says? The first rule says that, first of all, you will listen. After that, I will give you the time to write. Okay. The first rule says that the ray of light, all of you listen, the ray of light that is passing parallel to principal axis. This is our principal axis. So the ray of light that is passing parallel to principal axis, after the reflection, it is passing through principal focus. This is the first rule says. What is the first rule? The ray of light that is passing parallel to principal axis. After the reflection, it is passing through principal focus. This is what is the first rule says. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now you can write the rule. What is the first rule? A ray of light which is passing parallel to the principal axis of a concave mirror. After the reflection, it is passes through principal focus of the mirror. A ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis of a concave mirror passes through its focus after the reflection from the mirror. Clear? This is the ray of light which is parallel to principal axis. After the reflection, you just observe through which point the ray of light is passing. Through which point it is emerges out from the mirror? Observe here. Yes, it is through the principal focus. Here the ray of light that is coming parallel to principal axis. After the reflection, it is passing through a particular point. What is that particular point?
Principal focus.
Yes, very good. It is the principal focus. I hope this first rule is clear, right?
I'm don't right.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Susan?
ma'am, don't position right.
Okay, okay. All of you, please write the rule, the first rule. A ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis of a concave mirror passes through its focus after the reflection from the mirror. Okay, can I change the slide?
1 minute, that last point, focus after reflection.
Okay. So a ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis of a concave mirror passes through its focus after reflection from the mirror.
And through spelling is not correct. Rough.
Yes, very good. THROUGH. Very good. True. So a ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis of a concave mirror passes through its focus after the reflection from the mirror. Is it clear? Okay. Can we move to the next rule?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. This is our rule 2. This is not rule 3. This is our rule 2. Okay, this is our second rule. You just think the reverse case. In the first case, through which path the ray of light is entering? In the first case, in the first rule, through which path the ray of light is entering?
Principal axis.
Yes, it is coming parallel to principal axis. And after the reflection, what happens to that ray?
Passes through its focus.
Yes, it is passes through its focus, right? Now you just imagine the reverse case. That is, if a ray of light is entering through principal focus, if a ray of light is entering through principal focus, after the reflection, it is passing parallel to principal axis. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
The case is just reverse as that of the rule 1. That is, here the ray of light is entering through principal focus. After the reflection, it is passing parallel to principal axis. So this is the second rule. A ray of light passing through the principal focus of a concave mirror becomes parallel to principal axis after reflection. This is our rule 2 says. Okay, all of you please copy down the second rule for drawing the ray diagrams.
We have to
Array
draw
of-
diagram.
Yes.
We have to draw.
Yes, yes, of course. You also need to study this ray diagram. Yes,
Ma'am, first one I did.
yes, it's not clear. Yes, it is the ray of light that is passing through the focus of a concave mirror. The ray of light that is passing through the focus of a concave mirror. After the reflection, it becomes parallel to the principal axis. It becomes parallel to principal axis.
Ma'am, first rule diagram I didn't draw.
You don't need to worry. It's present in your textbook, page number 164. The
Okay.
same diagram is there.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Page number 164. You can see, you can only note about the diagram for concave mirror. Figure A. Now we are discussing about the rule 2. That is, if the ray of light is passing or it is entering through the principal focus, after the reflection, it is passing parallel to the principal axis. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can I change the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now we can discuss the third rule. This is our rule 3, not 2. This is our rule 3. This rule is very easy to study. That is, first of all, you listen here. After that, we can copy down the rule. The ray of light that is entering through center of curvature. The ray of light that is entering through center of curvature. After the reflection, it is passing through or returning through the center of curvature itself. Okay, it's a very good ray because it is entering through the same path and returning through the same path. So the third rule is state the ray of light that is passing through the center of curvature of a concave mirror is reflected back along the same path. The ray of light that is coming through the center of curvature, after the reflection, it is returning through the same path. This is our third rule states. Clear?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Now you can copy down the rule 3.
A ray of light passing through the
Center of curvature. A ray of light passing through the center of curvature. After the reflection, it is returning through the same path.
Okay.
This is our rule 3. A ray of light passing through the center of curvature of a concave mirror. It is reflected back along the same path. This is the third rule. Okay.
1 minute.
All of you, please switch on your videos. Most of them are switch off it. Why? Okay.
1 minute.
So we can just recall the rule from first. Okay, then Ashna Anthony.
I finish.
Okay. All right. So now we can discuss the last rule. After that, we can recall all these through the 4 rules. This is our 4th rule. You don't need to be concentrate on this convex mirror. We are only discussing about the concave mirror. Okay. Actually, these 4 rules are same for both the concave and convex. These 4 rules are same for both concave and convex. Okay. What about our rule 4 is says the ray of light that is incident at a pole reflected back making the same angle with the principal axis. That is, we can say if a ray of light is incident obliquely on the pole. What is this term? If a ray of light is incident obliquely on the pole, after the reflection, it is reflected obliquely. You must use this term obliquely. Obliquely. What do you mean by obliquely? What do you mean by this term obliquely? That is, if a ray of light is incident on the pole in a slanting position, if it is incident in a slanting way, after the reflection, it is reflected slanting in a slanting manner. So instead of the word slanting, we are using obliquely. That is, if a ray of light that is incident obliquely on the pole, after the reflection, it is reflected obliquely. Okay, this is our 4th rule says. The ray incident at a pole is reflected back, making the same angle. That is, here the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. That is what is our 4th rule states. Okay, so you can use either this rule or you can say the ray of light that is incident obliquely to the pole P, after the reflection, it is reflected obliquely. I think it is much more easy for you to study.
Yes.
The ray of light that is obliquely, the ray of light that is incident obliquely at the pole, after the reflection, it is reflected obliquely.
Obliquely means?
Obliquely means slanting, slanting. You just imagine it is came in a slanting manner, not in a straight manner, right?
Whether incident passes through the pole, which is reflected back, making an angle. Same
Yes,
angle.
yes, same angle. Okay. I think all
Ma'am,
these, yes.
Ma'am, 1 minute. I haven't tried.
Okay, okay. So this is our the 4 rules need to study for drawing the ray diagrams. So now we were discussing about a table and also these 4 rules. Okay. So before the next class, you must study these 4 rules and also the table. Then only it is easy for you to draw the ray diagrams. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now can I change the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So now we can just recall all these 4 rules once again. I will give the first condition. You can see what happens after the reflection, what happens to this reflected ray. So first rule, if the ray of light is coming parallel to principal axis, the ray of light is coming parallel to principal axis. After the reflection, what happens to the reflected ray? Angelo.
Yes, ma'am.
If a ray of light coming parallel to principal axis, after the reflection, what happens to that reflected ray?
It will pass through the reflection will pass through mirror.
No? Through which a point? Through a point that reflected rays passes. Through what point? Through which point?
I know.
Focus.
Yes, very good. So this is the first rule state. That is, if a ray of light is passing parallel to principal axis, after the reflection, it is passing through principal focus. Very good. Then next, the second rule. If the ray of light is passing through principal focus, if the ray of light is entering through principal focus, after the reflection, what happens to this principal axis? Rachel George.
Ma'am,
If a ray of light is entering through principal focus, after the reflection, what happens to the reflected ray?
ma'am, it will return through principal axis.
Yes, it is returned parallel to the principal axis. Very good. Then Fizan, if the ray of light is entering through center of curvature, if the ray of light is entering through center of curvature, after the reflection, what happens to that ray of light?
And it will move back of the same position of that.
Through the same path. It is
Path.
returning through the same path. Very good. Lena, the last case, if the ray of light is incident obliquely to the pole P, after the reflection, what happens to the ray of light?
Same angle with principal axis.
Yes, the last case. If a ray of light that is incident obliquely to the pole P, if it is incident obliquely to the pole P, after the reflection, what happens to that ray of light?
Reflected back, moving
With the?
with the
Same angle.
Yes, it is moving with the same angle. It is incident at one angle and it is also reflected at the same angle. So these are the 4 rules you must study in order to draw the ray diagrams.
Principal axis.
Yes. So these are the 4 rules. I hope these 4 rules and the table is clear, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So with this, we can wind up this today's class. Okay. We can see on the next class, right?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
all and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.